All right. Hey, Sean, how you doing this afternoon?
Good, Marcel. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Well, I guess for starters, the question I think we've all probably been asked about 600 times since yesterday. Do you have a status update on Tremaine Edmonds and Matt Milano, Terrell Dodson, Delshon Phillips, the guys who were injured yesterday?
Yeah, they don't appear to be long-term injuries at this point, based on what we know. So we'll put them in the day-to-day category, and we'll continue to update you guys as we get information.
And that's everybody involved doesn't seem to be long-term?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. Thanks, Sean.
Sure.
Hey, Sean, John Worrell, AP. I guess just to follow up, I mean, what challenges might it present the defense if some of those guys aren't available, knowing how important some of those guys are to the to this defense, going into next week's game?
Yeah, I mean, I thought we did a good job. The guys that stepped in for them and played well overall. Still a lot to be learned, a lot to be taken from the game. It's next man up as it relates to the injuries, to your question, John, and that's what we expect if that is in fact the case.
And when it came to Tremaine, he seemed to just knock shoulders with the receiver.
Crowder, yeah.
Yeah, Crowder. Right. I'm sorry. I'm having a bit of a brain fart here. I'm sorry, but just what is that? What happened? I mean, should he have wrapped him up, or was he just trying to knock him over? I'm just trying to figure out what happened on that play.
Yeah, I mean, it was a play that we'd all like back, Tremaine included, and but at the end of the day, we got to make that tackle, and it just looked like he came down on the shoulder a little bit there.
Thanks a lot.
Sure.
Coach, good afternoon. Mookie Hawkins, Buffalo Sports 1080. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Mookie. Yeah.
Excellent. Good game yesterday, by the way. But it seems like the game plan was to basically get Josh in the passing game established in a real game set. Miami's defense gave up over 200 yards on the ground. Will it be more emphasis on the run game this week?
We'll see. We haven't had a chance to really turn on that film yet, so it's early in our week, and we'll just see what the game plan holds. They're a good defense. They're a good football team, well coached, a lot of talent. They made a lot of good moves this offseason, so it'll be a big challenge for us.
Now, seems like that not only coaches and players didn't get their 500 reps, but these referees. I thought all plays were reviewable, and I know in this world we do like to score touchdowns, but field goals should matter as well. Just give us your take on why that play wasn't reviewed or replay.
Yeah, I'm not going to get into it too much, Mookie. I just, the way the rule is overall is the way it's set is when it goes over the upright, it's a non-reviewable play, which is the current rule. And that's what was communicated. I thought the refs did a good job overall in the game, and appreciate the work that they put in.
Absolutely, Coach. So I'll let you get back to earning the right to win against Miami this week.
All right. Thanks, Mookie.
Hey, Sean, John Scott. Good to see you.
You too, John.
I was curious. I know you've been asked about this for, frankly, the past few years, but how do you balance running with Josh and, there's a concern for injury when he's outside the pocket, but understanding that it is such a weapon of his game?
Yeah, I mean, it is a weapon of his game. It's got to be a good balance, a healthy balance, and that's what we shoot for every week. It's something that we do take seriously for a lot of reasons, which I'm sure you know. What most of those reasons are, John, but I thought, just overall, we did some good things in the run game. We could have been better in other areas in the run game. I thought our offensive line did some really good things and some things that we can do better, and they know that. So I'm encouraged to watch us perform during the week as we prepare for the Dolphins.
And as a follow-up, how is your history with guys like Donovan McNabb and Cam Newton? How does that play into having a quarterback like Josh and that skill set and being comfortable using that?
Yeah, you're breaking up a little bit, John, but I think I got what in relation to being around Donovan and Cam. Yeah, I've been around this conversation before, albeit in a different position, but very close to the topic nonetheless. And it's an ongoing, it never goes away is what I can tell you. Just from my experience, you're always trying to find that sweet spot. What's not enough, what's too much. And so it takes everyone. It takes us as coaches and Josh to find that right balance.
Thanks, Sean.
Sure.
Hey, Coach, Dan Fates in Rochester. I was just wondering, what did you learn about your team yesterday? Coming off an uncertain offseason, having to deal with testing, something completely new, no crowd, injuries, no preseason. And as you always say, it's hard to win in this league. Was there something that you learned about your team yesterday?
Yeah, I think, just going through it, to your point, everything that we've gone through off the field, on the field, the way they came out and performed, they were ready to go. And I think that speaks to the process. It speaks to what they went through and how they prepared, the planning that we did in training camp. It speaks to a lot of things, really, and I was happy to see that. That was a positive, bright spot early in the game, and then there was some adversity that we faced, and I think that also was something that we can learn from. There's going to be adversity in every game. That's the way the NFL works, and very rarely is it ever, a clean straight line. So, sometimes success is messy in the middle, and we were able to push through it and remain aggressive there.
Were you proud of the adversity? Because sometimes in the heat of the game, you can use the crowd to kind of settle yourself or get momentum back, and that wasn't there. Were you proud of the way your team handled adversity with your own sideline?
Yeah, I was missing our crowd there, man. I was needing them. I was trying to phone a friend, and nobody was out there. But no, we miss our crowd immensely, and we could have used their help yesterday. But we know they're out there. We know they're out there watching and pulling for us, and we're right there with them.
Thanks, Coach.
Sure.
Hey, Coach, you guys have your first road game coming up this week. Just wondering how different it's going to be in a COVID environment, whether that's traveling, staying at the hotel, just the differences that you'll see in this year.
Yeah, it'll be different, Maddie. It's, not many guys have traveled overall. This will be, to your point, our first road trip. I know our staff, our operations staff, led by Brendan Rowe and Kevin McGank and Matt Warswick and many others, are way out in front of this thing, making sure that we are in the best position possible as we do travel this weekend. So, I know that I'm confident that we'll be prepared when that time comes, but we got a lot of work to do between now and then.
Thanks, Coach.
Sure.
Hey, Sean, Adam Benini, WGRZ. I know you just talked about Josh and the number of carries he had yesterday. We'll ask Brian about that here in just a minute, too. That's one issue. Then there's also the issue of when he does run, there's the ball security issue. And I guess coming out of the game, what are your feelings on that relative to him yesterday? Yeah,
we could, and as he said after the game, he's got to do a better job. And I don't think there's any other way to skin it. It's you can't give the ball away. The ball is has an unbelievable ability to become the great equalizer. We were dominating that game in a lot of ways, as you saw, Adam, and we put the ball on the ground, and then all of a sudden, we face some adversity. So we can learn, and we need to learn from that, and before it comes back to haunt us here. So that's something that's one of the many things, Adam, honestly, that we have to work on this week.
Thank you, Sean.
Yep.
Hey, Sean, Josh Reed here. Mystery solved on the right side of the offensive line. How would you assess the way Cody Ford and Darrell Williams played?
Yeah, I thought they were solid. I thought Darrell Williams played a really good game and good addition to our team. He worked extremely hard. I love how he finished plays and finished blocks, played to the echo of the whistle. Cody, it looked like they had good symmetry over there. A lot of good things on that side. And like I said before, some good things up front, some things we certainly have to work on. I was proud of the way, though, that they came out and were ready to go.
And one quick other question, Andre Roberts seemed like he was kind of that underlying real game changer. He didn't pop one, but how close was he to taking one back?
Yeah, man, I love that guy. Just, he personifies what it means to be a Buffalo Bill. Unselfish, leader, tough, hardworking guy. You don't read his name in the paper a whole lot, but he does so much behind the scenes for our football team. And then yesterday, the way he was in the zone, just unbelievable determination to get those yards, some of which he was set up for, then some of which he got on his own. Just to play as hard as he does, I think really helps the young guys be able to see that and model themselves after that.
Great. Thanks, Sean. Appreciate it.
Yeah, sure, Josh.
Hey, Sean, good to see you. Kind of a big picture question. I know this offseason has been so different and so strange, but how long should it take to have like a really good feel of your team? And do you think maybe this year that could be delayed because things are so different?
Yeah, because it is unique, I don't really have a feel for that yet in terms of going through it and have any experience. But I just think every game will have a better feel. I know what we have to work on, and the list is long. So we've just got to continue to evolve and grow as a football team, and there's a lot to be done, and we did a lot of things well yesterday. But the fact remains, it's one game, and we have to continue to grow.
I mean, obviously there's rust, and every team has rust, and there's things that they need to figure out. Were you, I guess, content? Maybe did you exceed expectations? Maybe a little bit behind of what you thought when you consider all the different factors? I mean, it was the first game for these guys in, 8 months.
Yeah. No, I think you know me well enough.
Fair.
Yeah, I think you guys know me well enough. No, listen, we want to celebrate the things that were up to our standard, and we did that today. And at the same time, make sure we were very upfront and direct and honest about what wasn't, because there were many things and too many, honestly, that weren't up to our standards. So, as I mentioned, that'll come back to haunt us if we don't get them corrected. So, we've got some work to do this week, and I appreciate the way the guys came in this morning with a great attitude and ready to learn and grow.
Thanks, Sean.
Sure.
Hi, Sean. What did you see from Trent Murphy this offseason that allowed him to get off to the start that he did?
Well, it looked like he had a really good offseason from a training standpoint, and not that that's unusual for Trent. He invests a lot in his body and the time he puts in off the field and outside of the building. He's a great teammate, and I've just been very impressed by his approach to learning new things, learning new techniques to develop his game. The production that he's had over the last 7 games has been big for us, and will continue to be big for us. So he's a big part of what we're doing, and I really appreciate him as a teammate.
How about his mental approach? Just, there's, mostly outside talk about, his future with the team, and you guys brought in some competition for him, but he didn't seem to waver much. It seemed pretty strong at camp, and then comes out and has a pretty big showing in week 1.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I love about Trent. Extremely mentally tough, and he displays that early in camp. We were shuffling the lineup a little bit to look at some different combinations, and the look in Trent's eye didn't change. And he's a competitive young man that has his process and his routine, and I respect that. And he's just a great guy to have on our football team.
Thanks, Sean.
Sure.
Hey, Sean, I know you talked about this last night after the game, but I just was wondering if you could expand on it. What do you guys need to do to make sure that Tyler Bass's confidence, remains up, and that he can, push past his struggles in his first game yesterday?
Yeah, I think number one, Tyler is a young man that is mentally tough, and this was his first game as well. Not even a preseason game, but his first game overall. So acknowledging that, I think, for all of our young players is important. That said, he takes great ownership of where he needs to work and what he needs to work on, and so we are very confident I'm sure not just myself, but every teammate that Tyler has on this football team is very confident in what he can do. Now he just needs to continue to grow and learn, and I'm confident he'll do that.
He had such a strong camp, and we've seen what he can do with that strong leg of his. Do you think that maybe it was just a case of some, first game jitters kind of thing?
No, I just think, as you go through and being realistic about it for a young player, very few, if any, have ever come in. And as I mentioned earlier, that straight line of success, I'm not sure that exists maybe for Michael Jordan it did years ago. I don't know. But honestly, I haven't been around many in my 20-some years in this league that have experienced that type of trajectory, Heather, if you will. So it's to be expected, honestly. We've got some young players. They're gonna have some ups. It's gonna ebb and flow on them, and we've just got to stand by them and develop them on and off the field. And the part that I loved yesterday was the way the guys were supporting Tyler, and the guys honestly were supporting one another when we were facing some of those tough moments in the game, and whether it was guys supporting Josh supporting defensive players. It was just a great back and forth of positive energy and teamwork at its finest.
Thanks, Sean.
Sure.
All right, that's all we got. Thanks, guys.
Okay, guys. Thank you very much.
Thanks.